Okay, my first question. Wait, do I have to introduce you? Okay, I'm with my grandfather. I call him Tata. He's David Ravinder. Um, he serves as a pastor to a few churches, and he's older than 60, so he's good for this interview. My first question is, while Indira Gandhi was under the position of Prime Minister, what were the changes you began to notice around you?
One of the biggest changes I started to notice about Mrs. Indira Gandhi as the Prime Minister is that she liked to be in power, stay in power, and was very upset when the political winds started to change against the Congress party. And she was the head of the Congress party. And she tried to be in power regardless of what the people wanted. And I think that started to really reflect on her leadership, because what we saw in the year 1971, 72 were really a bad chapter in the democracy, the history of India.
My second question is, what were some of the restrictions Gandhi enforced on India?
One of the major restrictions is she took away the fundamental rights of a citizen by imposing or clamping what is called the Emergency Act, that basically said you don't have any constitutional rights. And mainly it was directed to her political opponents who were criticizing her leadership, her style, and the authoritarian regime that she wanted to impose on the public of India. And that really caused a lot of upset, upheaval in India, and a lot of her political opponents were arrested and were thrown into prison. And I think she basically wanted to continue to stay in power in politics and did not want anybody to oppose her.
Could you describe or explain the mandatory enforced sterilization of India? Could you describe or explain the mandatory enforced sterilization of India?
Oh, mandatory sterilization. That was a program that was instituted by her son. Um, he basically wanted to do population control and wanted the government to enforce a rule, a law, stating that anyone who has had either one or two children should be forcibly sterilized so that they will not have any more children. I think it was a very hard decision that was imposed on the people. A lot of people who had maybe one or two children and wanted more could not have.
Gandhi indicated that she was preventing the government from being taken over by. Sorry, I should be closer. Gandhi indicated that she was preventing the government from being taken over by those who have ruined all she had done for India. Do you agree with this, or believe her reasoning to be just?
Partly true, partly true. I think the Congress party, including Mrs. Indira Gandhi, really served the country well in the beginning days of independence. Ever since India got independence in 1947, her father was the first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru. He was a great statesman and a very wise man who did a lot of good for the country. He focused so much on industrialization of India, and also he sought to make agriculture a very prominent industry in India. So the twin focus of the Prime Minister of India, Nehru, and other prime ministers who followed him mainly paid attention to India's economic progress, its food production, and also its defense. They did a good job, but I think after Mrs. Indira Gandhi came to power, she just did not like the idea of not staying in power uh, beyond her term, and she saw that the country was changing, and she saw that the uh, political aspirations of her opponents was gaining a lot of ground, and she feared basically that she would have no future in Indian politics.
Mm. My last question is going to be, how were you affected by the emergency, and what was the worst memory you have about this period?
Um, not only I, but all the students at that time who were in colleges were very adversely affected by this imposition of emergency. I remember I was in second year in college, and we were in the middle of having elections for student government, and one of my good friends was in the run for president of the student union, when suddenly we were told that no longer were these elections to be conducted on college campuses because they were banned, and students could not have this student body or this organization wherein to gain some experience in public arena, public life, in politics, and that really dampened the spirit of the student movement in India. And I was, as I said, I was a student very keenly involved in local government and local issues. But once this government order came, and that we couldn't pursue these free elections for student body, then it really left a very bad taste in all of our mouths.
Mm. That will conclude the interview.
You're welcome.
Thank you,
You're
Doctor.
welcome. All right.